Let's see if we can do this. All right, so I got a mess of papers here. It's a little bit easier to draw when you have papers underneath you. I'd recommend it wholeheartedly. Just gonna like position here. Try to get this where we need it. All right, so first challenge about drawing a sphere is drawing a circle, which is not the easiest thing to do. Certainly if you have something lying around, right, something that's circular, that's large enough you can use it, right? Coffee cup, that's a little small, that probably wouldn't work. But we're going to try to do it freehand just because sooner or later someone's going to ask you to draw a circle, and it's helpful. Also, we're going to be doing this over and over and over again, so I'm going to do it the same way that the lady did. So I'm just going to kind of like ghost draw basically, and then once I see not working real well, that my circle is working, I'm going to go ahead and draw it. So parts of that work for me and parts of it don't. I'm going to get rid of the edges that I don't like. I was using a pencil, so that's good. So I don't need this guy coming all the way out around the edge. Probably don't need this. So just try to like correct as you go. See what you can do. And also, see, it's not easy. It's all right. Switching out. Okay. So I have my circle, just for the interest of you being able to see and us moving forward. I'm going to go over it in Sharpie. You do not have to do this. Using the natural curve of my wrist to kind of help me out with this. And also, while it's important to like practice drawing a circle, right? It's not the be all end all of the assignment. That's not what I'm grading you on, right? I'm grading you on your ability to make this circle into a sphere, and that's what we're going to be working on. So, as per usual, stop me if I'm going too fast, and don't be afraid to put something in the comments or just shout it out. Try to follow along as we go. If you lose track, don't despair. Just kind of watch and try to complete it later. So we're going to start with our light source, top left, coming straight down. She did a star, so I'm going to do a star. Boom. And this is important because for right now, at least until we kind of fix it, I'm going to put a pole up here, a little nubbin, a little dot. And I'm going to put one over on the other end too. So if you can imagine like a globe, like the one that we're looking at over here on the projected screen, this is like where that like metal piece comes that you like, whenever you spin the globe and then put your finger on it, right? Everyone did that when they were like young. I mean, I did it yesterday, but everyone's done it at one time or another. But these 2 points, we're going to treat like the north and south pole. So over here on the presented screen, we got a north pole, we got a south pole on the bottom. Can I rotate this? No, I cannot. All right, that's going to become important. You'll see why later. We're going to set up our values here in just a second, but first we're going to create our shadow. She made a real small one. I don't know. We're going to try it that way. That's cool. Also, dang, we almost forgot. We can put this on a table real quick. Or mess it up. Wow, that's horrible. I am just not me today. There we go. Whatever. That'll do. Okay. So, second challenge. Trying to do a sphere. I'm going to click out of here. We need to map out something that looks like this. So check out my shared screen. We have a highlight, right, in the upper left-hand corner that's closest to our light source, right? So that highlight's going to be right here. Then we're going to get progressively darker and darker as we go out to the edge, right? This is kind of tricky, right? There's no like really easy way to do this. So I'm just going to start drawing it. And basically what I like to do is do a swirl. So we're going to start with a highlight and kind of move out, kind of like a cinnamon bun. I don't know. That's like kind of what it looks like. So we're going to try to do that. And it's just, again, a circle. It just kind of looks kind of like that. All right, so we're looking at something like this. Just make sure to check in real quick. We got a 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. So maybe we can add in like a little additional guy right here just to see how that works. So again, you can tell like this isn't pretty already, but we're trying to make it work. Normally I give this to you on a piece of paper so you don't have to figure all this out on your first go, but you know what? We're learning from home, and this is fine. We're doing good. So give it a second. Try to get something that looks like this. Actually helps if this comes up. See what you can do. I'll give you all a couple minutes. And just so we're clear, we got a 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then this is going to be your 0. This highlight right here. So it's a little wonky. We're doing this in pencil because we're going to erase it, but it is kind of a necessary step. All right, so let's move on. It's gonna be great. This is gonna be good. So now we're looking at this wireframe over here. I brought this image back up because now we're gonna start drawing lines, and they're gonna kind of look like this. So I'm gonna leave this up here for a reference. Go ahead, check it out from time to time. Now, I don't have a piece of paper to slowly move across or even pivot across, because we're working in circles, right? So each progressive circle is a little bit larger and wider. That's weird, right? I don't have something that works for that. And neither do you. So we're just going to have to do it. We're going to have to eyeball it and see how it goes. So we know that this is our highlight. This is our 0. So under no circumstances are we supposed to put any value in there at all. All right? So we're going to start the same way that we usually do. Right, with our 0, our 1 line, right, coming across. We're doing our normal hatching. This is just the same process. It's just that it looks a little bit different, and the areas are very strange because it's a sphere. So I'm going to start from South Pole. All right, I'm going to draw a straight line. I know that's weird, but just go with me on this. Straight line from 0, North Pole, to South Pole. Okay. And a little one up here. But notice we didn't draw at all inside of the 0. Okay. Now, we're just going to keep going with that. So our lines are, for now, always going to start in the poles, so either in the North Pole or the South Pole. But we're going to make a little bendy line that bends out and comes back to the North Pole. Okay, so it's a little bit wider. It comes out to the left because it's on the left side. On the right side, it's going to bend out like that. So we're just going to do the whole left side and see what it looks like. Again, equally spaced lines. I avoided the 0 completely, so we're good to go. We don't have to worry about that. Just make sure this, I'm just going over this so you can see it. We're going to do it again. We're going to start at the South Pole. We're going to make an even bigger bend. And we're going to end at the North Pole. All right, see how that bend is getting even more intense all the way around? We're going to do even another one. DJ Khaled. Boom. Okay, and see how that kind of works? I see how that kind of looks like the whatever, this guy I have up here. The wire earth, the globe. All right, and we're gonna do the exact same thing on the other side, except these are gonna start curving out instead of in, I guess. We're following the contour of our shape, right? So since the contour of our shape is circular, that's how we're drawing lines. So again, starting at the South Pole, equally spaced line, moving all the way through, stopping at the 0, and then continuing on to the North Pole. Okay, now we know this next one's going to bend a little bit more, using the left side as a guide. Don't want to go in the 0. 0 is a no-no. Oh, all right. We're kind of got a pumpkin vibe right now. It's timely. We're going to, keep going. North to south. Looks like we got enough room. I'm going to try south to north. I'm going to try north to south. So I'm going to start at the North Pole. I'm going to come all the way back to the South Pole. All right, and even now, like I'm looking at that, and that looks like, I mean, it's pretty solid. Needs work, but it looks kind of sphery, right? Hopefully it does, anyway. All right, so that's step 1. Now we're going to repeat this over and over and over again, but getting this step correct is important because all the lines that we're going to draw in from here on out are going to be following that same kind of style, that same direction. So center line is straight down the middle, outer line is all the way curved around, everything else is just a different version, okay? But what we have to observe, so real quick, we did our 0. Our next step, you guessed it, we're doing the 1. Right? So we did our 1, now we're moving on to our 2. Right? Same way we've always done it. But the area that we're going to avoid this time, I'm going to outline right now. So instead of the 0, avoiding the 0. All right, that area I just outlined is what we're going to avoid this time. Okay, so check it out. So this is my no-go zone, right? I'm adding, right? Adding in lines in between the lines that already exist. And I'm going to try to follow them as best I can. And again, my lines are starting and ending at the North and South Pole. So I can go from south to north, and then it looks like I can fit in a little guy up here. Again, starting at the South Pole, coming all the way around, drawing as smoothly as I can, and then boom, I ran into the number 1. I'm going to stop, and I'm going to continue up here at the top. Actually, that's wrong, because 1 goes all the way up. You guys can let me know? All right. Making my next line all the way around till I get to the number 1, stop. Starting again, I'm doing this one. I'm gonna give myself a little mark, something to shoot for. Sorry, coming around, keeping it going, and then stop. All right, last one. This one I'm gonna switch it up. I'm gonna start over here at the 1 boundary, and I'm gonna go around. It gets a little tight over here. Okay, we're just gonna keep going. So same thing on the other side. South Pole, bending slightly, ending at 1. Right, so that's our circle 1. Starting at south, bending around, end at 1. Start at the South Pole, bending around, end at 1. Start at the South Pole, real big bend, end at 1. One more. Boom. All right, doesn't look like much yet, but we have a 0 value, we have a 1 value, and we have a 2 value. So we're working on it right now. We're getting closer. All right. next, I'm just going to take a careful look and see where my 3 value is. Found my 3. That's this stripe, so I'm going to go ahead and outline it. Okay, so that's the area that I'm going to stop at now. This is my finish line, I guess if you want to call it. That's where we're going to stop. This is where my paper would be if I had one, which I don't. All right, so starting at the same place. All my lines are meeting at this one place and ending over here, theoretically, right? So we're going to start from the middle and then just keep an eye on this line. That's where we're going to stop. Boom. No. How are we looking? Can you see me now? Yes? No? Still frozen, or you can see me? Okay. Precious, if you need to, you can log back out and get back in. Maybe that's the issue. So again, I guess I'm going to work from my 3 line back to the center because it's getting hard to see what's going on down here. I'm going to start at my 3, come on back. There we go. Hopefully that's better. Again, just trying to push this value up. All right, so you should kind of start to be able to see like where your lines are stopping and kind of see how that kind of contributes to your value. So I'm using this circle as a guide. I'm gonna start there, curve my line. Again, just fitting my lines in between, starting to get a little tight. Really trying to increase this value by increasing the number of lines. We're really starting to get some good value here, right? And we're only on 3. We got to do a few more. Oh no, we only have 5 minutes. All right, I'm going to put it in a hyperdrive. Check it out. This is our next boundary. Number 3. So I'm going to start at 3. You don't have to be super accurate now either. All right, and last but not least, we have our 4. Sorry. And that's going to be from here, coming across, all the way down. So hopefully you can see that boundary because that's where I'm trying to add in all my values now. And we're just going to go ham. So we're just going to really try to darken up this value. Try to keep the same general bend of our lines. Switch sides. Now that the lines are getting so short, it's not as important which direction they go. You're just worried about increasing your value. And there you go. All right, last but not least, you're just putting in your shadows. All right, that was a little rush at the end, but that's the deal. That's okay. We're going to give this another shot. It's definitely very complicated. To me, it kind of looks like a ball made of hair. But we're going to practice. Fear not. I'm going to try to like blend some of these layers together. But just real quick, I want to do a check-in.